Have you any idea how many would give their everything for immortality?
Immortality? So that word. All realms and beings have ruined themselves.
Wait. Hold up. How does this guy and this guy
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
both get referred as immortal? Well, I got a story for you. Ever since I was a kid, I was fascinated by these unbeatable characters in both video games and TV shows, often described as these old, strong, unkillable, or in other words, immortal beings. Or so they describe themselves. The use of the word immortal is not as straightforward as you think. You might think, well, it's obvious, it means never dying. But what if you can't physically die, but you can still age? Or what if you can die, but you just respawn? Is that still immortality? The word immortal derives from the Latin word mortalis, meaning mortal, which comes from mors, meaning death. So immortalis in Latin literally means not subject to death or undying. Some stories surrounding immortality give you eternal youth. Others say it's about not being forgotten, but the most common one is of course about being supposedly unkillable. Let's break these down one by one. First, we need to establish that there is a clear difference between being unkillable and having eternal youth. There's an ancient Greek story about a human named Tithonus. Tithonus fell in love with the goddess Eos, the goddess of the dawn. She loved him back, so she asked Zeus to make him immortal, but she forgot one crucial thing, to ask for eternal youth. So Tithonus just kept aging, older, weaker, more broken, unable to die, due to Zeus's interpretation of immortality. Hopefully you understand the difference between the two, because it brings us to the most famous example of eternal youth. Vampires, probably the most famous immortals in all fiction. They're ageless, forever young, and often described as immortal. Yet the moment sunlight hits them, poof, they're dead. Think about Dio from JoJo's. Dude's been around for centuries, never ages a day, has hella aura. Still, with a little strategy and a lot of luck, he gets taken down. Or Michael Jackson from Demon Slayer, the OG vampire boss. His dream is to achieve true immortality by conquering his only weakness, the sun. But even then, if he achieves his goal, he'll still have about 50 years left to live till America delivers the sun straight to his face. So here's the thing, vampires are immortal in name and youth, but definitely not invincible. But eternal youth doesn't just show up in vampires. Take Ash from Pokemon, for example. A kid who's been on a world tour for over 25 years and hasn't aged a day. It's kind of a built-in eternal youth of some sort. So eternal youth and immortality get tangled up a lot, but just like vampires, staying young forever doesn't always mean you can't be killed. Here's where immortality gets a little more philosophical. Gagaya Ubeyashki, the wise leader of the Demon Slayer Corps, says something really interesting. He says that true immortality isn't about living forever or never aging. No, the real immortality is not being forgotten. Think about it. To truly live forever, you have to be remembered. Your name, your actions, your impact, carrying on through the lives of others. Muzan, despite all his powers and eternal life, doesn't understand this kind of immortality. He chases physical survival, but is blind to the idea that legacy and memory are what make someone's character truly immortal. But even then, this kind of immortality depends entirely on others. If people forget you, or worse, if everyone is gone, then all that memory, that legacy, can vanish in an instant. So, is immortality through memory really any better, or is it just another fragile kind of survival? Now let's talk about those characters that get called immortal just because they're unkillable, but in reality they're still stuck with some pretty big caveats. They might be impossible to kill with normal weapons, or maybe they heal instantly, or their lifespan stretches for centuries, but they're not truly free from the rules of the universe. Take characters who can still age, even if they can't be killed in battle, or those who only survive as long as the universe itself lasts. For example, some cosmic beings in comics and games, like Raiden from Mortal Kombat, get called immortal because he can't die from mortal means, but he can be killed with the right artifact or rare technique. He's unkillable unless someone finds his kryptonite. Some even argue that Steve is immortal, because even when he dies, he still comes back in the same world as the same person, knowing exactly where he lost his loot. In the eyes of a mob, Steve is a relentless, immortal being who keeps coming back over and over again no matter how you kill him. Even then, all it takes is a world delete button. So why do all these common tropes of immortality always involve death? These characters in stories aren't truly free from all rules or consequences. They're still bound by some form of reality or logic within their fictional universe. Even if they can't die normally, there are always conditions, weaknesses, or limits, so they aren't invincible, or in other words, boring. These limits create tension and stakes. Without these vulnerabilities or constraints, characters become dull or impossible to connect with. Limits make them feel human or real, which helps the audience care about their struggles. So if all these stories actually don't portray immortality at all, what is the true definition? You see, if you add all these stories and concepts together, you get something that can't die, can't age, can't be forgotten, can come back even if he was momentarily absent, and is not bound to time and space, essentially be beyond reality and our comprehension, or in other words, be God.